Did you know that drinking the wrong kind of milk after 60 can quietly speed up aging, weakening your bones, clouding your memory, and inflaming your joints? It's true. What if the milk in your fridge, something you've trusted for decades, is now working against your health? And what if switching to the right kind of milk could help you feel stronger, steadier, and sharper than you have in years? Let me walk you through this, because this simple choice could make all the difference. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah Bennett. I've been caring for older adults for over 20 years, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. What we drink every morning can shape how we move, think, and feel every day after 60. Milk isn't just milk anymore. Some kinds nourish your bones, calm your gut, and support a clearer mind. Others, well, they quietly add to the very problems you're trying to avoid. I've seen patients struggle with joint pain, fatigue, and digestive issues, only to find real relief after changing the milk they drink. It's not magic, it's smart science, and a little care in what we choose at the grocery store. Today, I'm going to share with you 4 of the best milks for seniors over 60. These are the ones I recommend in my own practice, because they've helped real people feel better, move easier, and live fuller lives. And we'll start with a surprisingly powerful milk that often gets overlooked, but has done wonders for digestion and bone strength in my patients. Let's talk about goat milk. 1. Goat milk for easier digestion and stronger bones. When I first started recommending goat milk to my older patients, many were surprised. "Isn't that something they drink on farms?" they'd ask with a laugh. But after just a few weeks, that laughter turned into reliefless bloating, fewer stomach aches, and joints that didn't feel so stiff in the morning. Goat milk isn't trendy. It's not something you'll see in every fridge. But for people over 60, it may be one of the best milks you can drink. Here's why. As we age, our digestive system changes. Foods that used to feel fine might now lead to gas, bloating, or discomfort. This is often the case with regular cow's milk, which contains a protein called A1 casein. For many older adults, that protein can cause inflammation in the gut. It's subtle, but over time, it wears you down. Goat milk, on the other hand, contains mostly A2 casein. It's a gentler form of protein that's much easier for aging stomachs to process. Many of my patients who couldn't tolerate cow's milk found goat milk much more comfortable, and they didn't have to give up the morning milk they loved. But the benefits don't stop with digestion. Goat milk is rich in essential minerals. Calcium, of course, is key for bone health, but goat milk also delivers phosphorus, zinc, and selenium. These nutrients work together to keep bones strong, support the immune system, and even help balance thyroid function, something that often becomes more difficult with age. One study I often share with my patients followed seniors who switched from cow's milk to goat milk for just 2 months. The results were clear: reduced inflammation in the digestive tract, better calcium absorption, and fewer issues with gas and discomfort. And there's another important piece here: energy. Goat milk has more medium-chain fats than regular cow's milk. These healthy fats are easier for the body to turn into energy. That's especially helpful as metabolism slows down with age. For those feeling low on energy or dealing with muscle weakness, this natural energy boost can make a real difference. Now, I always advise choosing pasteurized whole goat milk with no added sweeteners or flavors. The simpler, the better. Avoid ultra-pasteurized options when possible, since high heat can damage some of the milk's natural benefits. There are many easy ways to enjoy it. Some of my patients like warming goat milk with a bit of cinnamon or turmeric before bed. Others pour it over oatmeal or blend it into a morning smoothie. However you choose to use it, what matters is the comfort and nourishment it brings. If you're someone who's been struggling with digestion, joint pain, or simply looking for a gentler, more nourishing milk as you age, goat milk is worth trying. It may not be flashy, but it's dependable. And in my experience, it's one of the best milks for seniors over 60. Let's keep going. The next milk on my list might already be in your fridge, but only the unsweetened version will give you the benefits your body truly needs. 2. Unsweetened calcium-enriched almond milk for joint and blood sugar support. If you've been told to cut back on dairy, you may already have almond milk in your fridge. But here's something I've learned after working with many patients over 60. Not all almond milk is created equal. And if you choose the right kind, unsweetened, enriched with calcium and vitamin D, it can be one of the best milks for seniors over 60. I've seen it time and again in my practice. A patient comes in with stiff joints, unpredictable blood sugar, or chronic fatigue. Sometimes they've been trying their best eating less sugar, getting some light exercise, but something still isn't right. Then we take a closer look at their diet, and that's when almond milk becomes a game changer. Unsweetened almond milk is light, easy on the stomach, and very low in carbohydrates. It won't spike your blood sugar the way many dairy products or sugary drinks can. For older adults managing diabetes or pre-diabetes, that's a big win. It gives your body the hydration it needs without the extra sugar it doesn't. What makes almond milk truly special, though, is what's added to the right kind. When it's fortified with calcium, vitamin D, and even magnesium, it becomes a powerhouse for bones, joints, and nerve health. These nutrients work together. Calcium keeps your bones strong. Vitamin D helps your body absorb that calcium, and magnesium supports muscle function and nerve signaling, especially important if you've been dealing with tremors, leg cramps, or balance issues. There's also vitamin E. Almond milk is naturally rich in this antioxidant, and that's good news for your mind. Research has shown that older adults with more vitamin E in their diets tend to hold on to sharper memories and clearer thinking as they age. One of my patients, a 71-year-old retired teacher, was struggling with both joint pain and high blood sugar. She started her mornings with sweetened vanilla almond milk, thinking she was making a healthy choice. We switched her to an unsweetened version, fortified with calcium and vitamin D. Within 6 weeks, her blood sugar readings were more stable, and she said her knees didn't ache quite so much getting out of bed. But here's the thing. Many almond milks on store shelves are packed with added sugars, thickeners, and flavorings. These cancel out the benefits and can even make things worse. I always tell my patients, read the label, look for unsweetened on the front, and check that it has calcium, vitamin D, and magnesium on the back. If it has cane sugar, agave syrup, or other sweeteners near the top of the ingredient list, leave it on the shelf. Almond milk is easy to add into your daily routine. Pour it into your oatmeal. Blend it with blueberries or ground flaxseed for a brain-boosting smoothie. Or enjoy a small glass with a light dinner, especially if you're trying to avoid heavier dairy at night. If your joints feel stiff, your blood sugar keeps rising, or you're looking for a clean, nourishing milk that won't upset your stomach, this is a smart switch. Let's keep going. The next milk on our list doesn't just support digestion. It helps protect your bones and even your brain. Let's talk about kefir. 3. Kefir milk for better digestion, bones, and brain function. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I met a man named Richard. He was 73, thoughtful, and still sharp as a tack, but lately he'd been feeling foggy. He complained about forgetfulness, low energy, and some digestive discomfort after meals. He wasn't sleeping well either. We looked at his routine, and one thing stood out. His gut health wasn't where it needed to be. That's when I introduced him to kefir. Kefir is not just milk. It's a living, fermented drink filled with beneficial bacteria probiotics that gently support your digestion, bones, and even your memory. I often call it the forgotten tonic because of how much it can do in such a small glass. As we age, our gut bacteria start to shift. We have fewer of the good ones and more of the ones that cause trouble. That imbalance can lead to gas, bloating, inflammation, and slower absorption of key nutrients like calcium and vitamin D. Kefir helps restore balance. It brings back the healthy bacteria your body needs to digest food properly and absorb what matters. What I love about kefir is how it works quietly but powerfully. In one clinical study, older adults who drank kefir daily for just 3 months showed stronger bones, steadier balance, and even better cognitive performance. Their vitamin D absorption improved. Their muscle control improved. And yes, their memories improved too. Kefir also contains vitamin K2, a nutrient many seniors are missing. K2 is special because it tells calcium where to go. It directs it into your bones, not your arteries. Without enough K2, calcium can actually build up in the wrong places, causing more harm than good. But with kefir, you get calcium, vitamin D, and K2 together in a form your body can use. And because kefir is fermented, it's easier to digest than regular milk. Many of the natural sugars and proteins in milk are broken down during fermentation. That means less bloating, less stomach upset, and better absorption of the nutrients your body needs. Now, not all kefir is created equal. I recommend choosing whole milk kefir, unsweetened, with live cultures listed right on the label. That's where the real benefits are. You can drink a small glass with lunch or dinner, or mix it into a smoothie with berries and chia seeds for added fiber and brain support. Richard made that change. It was simple, just half a glass with breakfast and dinner. After a few weeks, he said he felt lighter in his stomach. A month later, he told me his knees didn't ache as much going up the stairs. And by the end of 3 months, he said something I'll never forget. I feel like myself again. If you've been feeling a little off mentally, physically, or both, don't overlook your gut. It connects to everything. And kefir might just be one of the best milks for seniors over 60 who want to stay sharp, strong, and steady. Let's keep going. The next milk on our list looks like regular milk, but it's much easier on your body. And it may be the key to reducing inflammation without giving up dairy at all. Let's talk about A2 milk. 4. A2 whole milk for stronger bones and less inflammation. Sometimes, the key to feeling better isn't giving something up, it's choosing a better version of what you already love. That's exactly what A2 whole milk offers. For many of my patients, this has been one of the most surprising and helpful changes they've made in their daily routine. Let me explain why. Traditional cow's milk, the kind most of us grew up with, contains a protein called A1 casein. Over time, especially after age 60, that protein can cause subtle inflammation in the body. You might not notice it at first, but it can show up later as joint stiffness, digestive trouble, or general fatigue that doesn't seem to have a clear cause. A2 milk is different. It still comes from cows, but only from those that naturally produce a gentler version of the protein called A2 casein. This small difference can have a big impact. A2 milk is much easier on the stomach. It doesn't trigger the same kind of inflammatory response that A1 milk can. And for older adults, that means less discomfort, better nutrient absorption, and a chance to enjoy dairy again without the usual side effects. One of my patients, a 68-year-old woman named Marie, had given up milk years ago. It upset her stomach and left her feeling sluggish. When she switched to A2 milk, her body responded almost immediately. She could enjoy cereal again, her digestion improved. And after a few weeks, her knee pain, especially in the morning, started to ease. A2 milk is also nutritionally rich. It has all the benefits you'd expect from whole milk: calcium for bone strength, vitamin D to help absorb that calcium, vitamin B12 for energy and focus, and high-quality protein to support muscles. But because it's less inflammatory, those nutrients can do their job more effectively. It's especially valuable for anyone concerned about bone density. After 60, bones naturally lose some of their strength. We need calcium and vitamin D more than ever, but we also need to absorb them well. A2 milk helps make that happen, without irritating the gut or triggering discomfort that keeps people from drinking it regularly. The mental clarity piece is important too. In recent studies, older adults who switched to A2 milk reported feeling more alert, with fewer foggy moments during the day. That's no small thing. When inflammation is reduced, the brain functions more smoothly. It's all connected. When you shop, look for full-fat A2 milk from grass-fed cows if available. The healthy fats in whole milk help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like D and K2, both critical for aging bones and joints. And be sure to avoid ultra-pasteurized or flavored versions. They may be more convenient, but they often lose some of the natural nutrients you need. You can use A2 milk just like you would use regular milk. Add it to your oatmeal, stir it into coffee, use it in your favorite recipes, or simply enjoy a cold glass with a light lunch. It's simple, satisfying, and, when chosen well, one of the best milks for seniors over 60. Now that we've covered the 4 best milks to drink after 60, it's time to look at the other side. Because while some milks support your health, others can slowly wear it down. Let's take a closer look at the kinds of milk older adults should avoid, and why. Now that we've explored the 4 best milks to nourish your bones, support your joints, and protect your digestion after 60, it's just as important to know which ones to avoid. Because some milks, though popular, can quietly harm your health in ways you may not expect. Let's take a closer look. 1. Sweetened almond milk raises blood sugar and belly fat. Many people switch to almond milk thinking they've made a healthy choice, and in some cases, they have. But the truth is, not all almond milk is helpful, especially for those of us over 60. One version, in particular, can quietly harm your health: sweetened almond milk. At first glance, it may seem harmless. It often comes in attractive packaging, marked with words like vanilla, light, or dairy-free. But behind the label, sweetened almond milk is often packed with added sugars, artificial flavorings, and very little actual almond. What you're drinking isn't a natural source of nutrition, it's more like sweetened flavored water with a few thickeners mixed in. For older adults, this can be especially dangerous. As we age, our body's ability to handle sugar changes. Insulin sensitivity decreases, which means even small amounts of added sugar can raise blood sugar quickly and keep it high for longer. That leads to energy crashes, weight gain, and even more pressure on your joints and muscles. I've had patients come in with stubborn belly fat they couldn't seem to lose. Many were trying to eat right, but a closer look revealed a daily glass of sweetened almond milk, something they thought was doing them good. Once they switched to an unsweetened version, the change was clear: less bloating, better blood sugar readings, and in some cases, noticeable weight loss around the midsection. Sweetened almond milk also offers very little real almond content. Some brands contain less than 2% almonds. The rest is often water, sugar, gums, and additives. That means you're not getting the natural fiber, vitamin E, or healthy fats found in whole almonds. Without those nutrients, it doesn't support your bones, muscles, or memory the way real food does. And sugar isn't the only problem. Many sweetened almond milks include syrups like agave or cane sugar, along with stabilizers and emulsifiers. These ingredients can irritate the digestive tract, contribute to inflammation, and cause your body to store fat more easily, especially around the belly. For someone over 60, inflammation is already a concern. The last thing your body needs is an extra trigger that quietly increases joint pain, mental fog, or tiredness after meals. And that's exactly what these added sugars and artificial ingredients can do. If you enjoy almond milk, you don't have to give it up. Just make sure you're choosing the right kind. Look for unsweetened on the label. Check that it's fortified with calcium and vitamin D. And avoid versions that list sugar, syrup, or flavorings among the top ingredients. What seems like a small detail can make a big difference. You deserve a milk that supports your health, not one that slowly wears it down. If your blood sugar has been hard to manage, or your waistline feels tighter despite your best efforts, take a second look at what's in your glass. sweetened almond milk might not be as sweet for your body as it seems. Let's move on to another milk that's often misunderstood, especially because it looks healthy on the surface. But without the right nutrients, it can leave you weaker over time. Let's talk about unfortified oat milk. 2 halves. 2. Unfortified oat milk causes bone loss and fatigue. Oat milk has become a favorite in coffee shops and grocery stores. It's creamy, trendy, and often labeled as a heart-healthy choice. But for seniors over 60, not all oat milk is as helpful as it seems, especially the unfortified kind. I've had several patients who came to me feeling unusually tired. Some had achy joints. Others were losing weight without trying. Many had made healthy changes, eating cleaner, walking more, and replacing dairy with oat milk. When I asked what kind they were drinking, most didn't realize it was unfortified. That's where the problem begins. Unfortified oat milk lacks 2 of the most important nutrients for older adults: calcium and vitamin D. Without these, your bones can't stay strong, your muscles may weaken, and your risk of fractures or falls rises quietly over time. Bones naturally lose density as we age. We can slow that process, but only if we feed our bodies what they need to rebuild. Oat milk, unless it's fortified, doesn't provide enough calcium to support that process. It also lacks vitamin D, which helps your body absorb calcium in the first place. Oats also contain phytic acid. This compound binds to minerals like calcium and magnesium, making it harder for your body to absorb them. For someone already running low on these minerals, that's a concern. Instead of helping your bones and joints, unfortified oat milk can make the problem worse. There's another issue too. Most unfortified oat milks are high in carbohydrates. For older adults with slower metabolisms or blood sugar concerns, this can lead to crashes in energy. I've seen patients feel full right after breakfast, then sleepy or drained by mid-morning. Over time, that can affect mood, memory, and motivation to stay active. The hidden sugars in some oat milk brands don't help either. While they may not always be listed as sugar, ingredients like rice syrup or malt extract can raise blood sugar quickly. That's especially risky for people managing diabetes or prediabetes. Digestive discomfort is also common. Many oat milk products contain oils, gums, and thickeners to mimic the creaminess of dairy. But these can slow digestion and cause bloating, especially in older adults with sensitive stomachs. If you enjoy oat milk, I'm not saying you have to give it up, but I strongly recommend choosing a version that's fortified. Look for one with at least 25% of your daily calcium and vitamin D on the label. Make sure it's unsweetened, and read the ingredients carefully. Your bones, energy, and digestion depend on more than just what tastes good. They depend on what builds you up from the inside. You deserve more than a milk that fills a glass. You deserve one that fills your body with strength. If your current oat milk isn't doing that, it may be time for a smarter swap. Next, we'll take a look at a type of milk that seems helpful, especially for people with lactose sensitivity, but hides more risks than most realize. Let's talk about flavored lactose-free milk. 3. Flavored lactose-free milk contains harmful sugars and additives. For many older adults, switching to lactose-free milk feels like the right move. After all, as we age, our ability to digest lactose, the natural sugar in milk, can decline. Choosing a milk that's easier on the stomach makes good sense. But here's where the trouble begins. Not all lactose-free milk is created equal, especially the flavored ones. Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry-flavored lactose-free milk may look harmless. They're sweet, smooth, and often advertised as easy to digest. But once you look past the label, the real picture comes into focus. These flavored varieties are usually loaded with added sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives. And for people over 60, these hidden ingredients can take a real toll. Let's talk about sugar first. Many flavored lactose-free milks contain more sugar per serving than a can of soda. This isn't just about sweetness. It's about what that sugar does to your body. High sugar intake raises your blood glucose, increases belly fat, and puts more pressure on your joints. I've had patients complain of weight gain despite healthy meals, only to find that their light chocolate milk had been quietly working against them. Then there are the oils. Some brands use hydrogenated or highly processed oils to give the milk a creamier texture. These fats don't nourish your body. Instead, they can throw off your metabolism and contribute to long-term weight gain. They've also been linked to hormone imbalance, a concern for both men and women as we get older. Artificial flavorings and thickeners are another concern. Additives like carrageenan or sucralose may make the drink look smooth or taste sweeter, but they often cause digestive issues. Bloating, cramping, or changes in bowel habits are more common than most people realize. For seniors already dealing with a sensitive stomach or a slow digestive system, these additives can make things worse. One of my patients, a 66-year-old man who loved his evening glass of vanilla milk, started noticing swelling in his hands and ankles. He thought it was just aging. But when we looked closely, we saw the flavored milk he was drinking was full of sugar, oils, and emulsifiers. After switching to plain, unsweetened, lactose-free milk, the swelling eased, and his digestion improved too. It's important to remember that lactose-free milk by itself isn't the issue. It can be a great choice, especially if your body no longer tolerates regular dairy. But once flavorings are added, the product changes. What could have been a gentle, nourishing drink becomes something that quietly disrupts your health. If you need lactose-free milk, go with the plain, unsweetened kind. Check the label for added calcium and vitamin D. Keep it simple. Your bones, joints, and stomach will thank you for it. Next, we'll look at the most common milk on American shelves. It's familiar and trusted, but for those over 60, it may be doing more harm than good. Let's talk about conventional A1 ultra-pasteurized cow's milk. 4. Conventional ultra-pasteurized A1 cow's milk causes inflammation and poor absorption. For most of us, cow's milk is one of the most familiar foods on the table. It's what many of us grew up drinking. It feels safe, comforting, and dependable. But after 60, what once worked well for your body may now be working against it, especially if it's conventional. A1 cow's milk that's been ultra-pasteurized. Let me explain why. Standard cow's milk in the United States often comes from cows that produce a 1-beta casein. This particular protein can cause a low-grade, chronic inflammatory response in many older adults. The symptoms aren't always obvious. Some people notice more joint stiffness. Others feel bloated, foggy, or tired after meals without knowing why. In my experience, the connection often goes unnoticed until we take a closer look at their milk. The problem is made worse when that milk is ultra-pasteurized. This process uses very high heat to extend shelf life, but in doing so, it changes the structure of the proteins in milk. These altered proteins are harder to digest, especially for seniors with slower digestion and reduced stomach acid. When proteins aren't broken down well, your body struggles to absorb the key nutrients milk should provide, like calcium, vitamin D, and B12. So even though it seems like you're getting nutrition, much of it goes unused. I've had patients with good diets still experience thinning bones, brittle nails, and low energy. And when we replaced their milk with a better alternative, they began to feel stronger and more balanced. But there's more to the story. Conventional cow's milk often contains traces of hormones, antibiotics, and genetically modified feed from the cows. Over time, these residues can build up in the body. For older adults, this can disrupt hormonal balance, increase inflammation, and interfere with how your body uses minerals. I've seen it contribute to mood swings, weight gain, and even trouble sleeping. And then there's the effect on bone health. Ironically, the very milk that's supposed to help build strong bones may be doing the opposite. Chronic inflammation and poor nutrient absorption make it harder for your body to hold on to bone density. Over time, this can raise the risk of fractures, slower healing, and even the kind of joint pain that makes everyday activities more difficult. If you're still drinking conventional, ultra-pasteurized A1 cow's milk past 60, it's worth asking if it's truly serving your health. There are better options like A2 milk, goat milk, or unsweetened almond milk fortified with calcium and vitamin D. These support your digestion, lower inflammation, and help you absorb the nutrients your body needs to stay strong and steady. You don't have to give up milk completely, but you deserve one that works with your body, not against it. Now that we've explored the best and worst milks for seniors over 60, let's take a moment to reflect. Because the milk you pour each day may be shaping your future more than you realize. What you pour into your glass each morning matters more than you might think. The right milk can ease joint pain, support your bones, and keep your mind clear. The wrong one can quietly do the opposite, feeding inflammation, draining your energy, and speeding up aging. It's not about giving everything up, it's about choosing better. Goat milk, unsweetened almond milk, kefir, and A2 milk all offer real support for life after 60. And by avoiding sweetened plant milks, flavored lactose-free options, unfortified oat milk, and ultra-pasteurized A1 dairy, you give your body the care it truly needs. So take a moment. Look in your fridge. What are you choosing for your health today? If this video helped you see things differently, please consider sharing it with someone you care about. And if you'd like more science-backed tips for aging strong, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. You deserve to feel your best every single day after 60. And I'll be right here, walking with you each step of the way.